Woohoo! Good morning, Morgan County students. It's Mrs. Hot here for Positive Actions. Today it is Talk It Out Tuesday. All right, today we're going to take a look at our positive action word for the week, where you are going to talk to your teachers about how to be positive at home, at school, and in your community. Why? Because we know with positive thoughts, actions, and feelings, we can make positive choices to be a community of Cougars that care. Here's what's happening for today.
I am positive, and that is how.
Oh, I wonder who it is. Let's go see. Someone's coming to the Cougar Den today. Who is it?
Hey guys, is this the Cougar Den?
It is.
I'm in the right spot. Very
It's
good.
Mr. Bruce. Hello. Come on in.
Hello.
Woohoo! It's time for positive actions. Good morning, Morgan County students, and I'm so excited about our special guest we have here in the Cougar Den. Welcome, Mr. Bruce. Hi, Mr. Bruce.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me in the Cougar Den.
Oh, you know
This
what?
is awesome.
I heard you were at the school, and Mr. Bruce has been over in the 5th grade. What have you been doing over
The
there?
5th grade. Well, I'm a pilot for Southwest Airlines, and we have a program special for 5th graders. We call it Adopt a Pilot. And I get to meet with 5th graders for 4 different sessions, and we talk about real cool things. We talk about what we call our flight values to help students get ahead and remember. We talk about fearlessness, leadership, imagination,
Oh, I like that. Oh.
gratitude, honesty, and tenacity. Then we also talk about geography, because as a pilot, that's what I like, some of the things that I have to do. We have to know where we're going, but geography, we talk about state capitals, and we talk about time zones and why we have time zones. And today I was here meeting with the Warm Springs Intermediate 5th graders, doing science experiments.
Science experiments.
Learning
cutie.
how-
We love science experiments.
Learning how
What'd you
airplanes
learn?
fly. Learning how airplanes fly.
That's a good question.
Learn about physicist Mr. Bernoulli, who has the Bernoulli principle, and how the wings of an airplane work, and how we have 4 forces that work on an airplane: lift, weight, thrust, and drag, and how we do different experiments. We make ping pong balls float. And,
In the air?
In the air.
With
Yeah.
nothing. How do you...
So
Okay.
it's really cool.
I believe him.
It's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So it's been fun.
Well, you said it's an Adopt a Pilot program. Is it okay if we adopt you in a positive action program too?
Absolutely.
Oh, we
I'd
get
love
to adopt Mr. Bruce
Yeah.
today, a real pilot here at Warm Springs Intermediate School. So let me see. I have a question.
Okay.
You're a pilot now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. When you were a little boy, really young, what did you want to be?
I wanted to be a pilot. And I
Oh.
remember my very first airplane ride. I was about 5 years old.
Oh, really?
We lived in California, and
I didn't know you lived in California.
I grew up in
I
California.
always thought you were in West Virginia.
No,
Wow.
I grew up out in California, and my parents took me to Disneyland, not because Disney World wasn't available yet. And we flew from San Francisco to Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
And my grandfather took us up to the airplane, and he asked the captain if he could take me into the cockpit. So at 5 years old, I remember sitting in the cockpit, looking at all the dials and everything like that. And I thought, wow, this is neat.
Oh, cool.
And
That's cool.
That's all I ever wanted to do. So growing up, I was interested in model rockets, building model airplanes, and I started flying when I was in high school.
Did you really?
I actually flew an airplane by myself with no instructor in it before I had my driver's license.
That's interesting.
So-
Wow, guys, anybody out there want to fly a plane before you get your driver's license?
It can be
Too
done.
late for me.
If I can do it, anybody
yeah,
can do
there
it.
you go. With
Yeah.
positive actions,
That's
right,
it.
Mr.
With positive
Bruce?
actions, that's
Oh,
it.
wow, that's
it.
so cool. Now, you mentioned something, positive values. I heard you say that you do as a pilot. Let me ask you that, because we talk about character values in the Cougar Den.
All right.
What positive actions are you required to do when you're flying a plane? They're
Well, I'll
big
tell you
planes,
what.
too.
I'll tell you what. Southwest is a big company, and we do have big airplanes. We carry 175 people.
Oh my goodness.
At the most. That's one version of our airplane. So Southwest, when they hire somebody, they have a set of core values that they look for in their interviews.
Core values? That's what we do.
They want somebody that's what they're looking for is a fun-loving attitude. Okay? Has a warrior spirit.
A warrior spirit.
A warrior spirit. That's what
I like that. I like that.
Southwest. And so when the people do the interviews, these are kind of the traits and the values that they're looking for. Because we interact as flight crews, pilots, and flight attendants.
Your team.
We're the team, and we're the team that spends the most time with our customers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for me, it's really pleasing. I've only been with Southwest for 2.5 years, but it's really satisfying when we stand outside the airplane and everybody's coming off, 175 people, and see the smiles on their face, because each one of those people has a different story. We like to say at Southwest, there's each seat has a story, meaning each person in the seat has a story.
Oh, I
and
like
we're
that.
bringing them, we're able to bring them to things that are going on in their life that's important to them at that time.
Oh.
So that's what we do at Southwest. We do it really, really well, and we enjoy doing it.
Oh, wow. It's so neat to know the story behind that. I've never heard that before. That's beautiful.
And the other thing we have is
so
heart.
cool.
The other thing we have at Southwest is heart. There's a big heart on the bottom of all of our airplanes. And we like to say at Southwest that the airplane is just a machine, but it's the heart of the individuals that work at Southwest that make it go.
That's so cool. That's magic. So there's science that you're doing with the 5th graders, but there's also a lot of magic in this story too.
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
Exactly.
Oh, I really like that. Well, this kind of makes me think of another question.
Okay.
And I kind of like this too. This is my favorite one. You ready?
All right.
Mr. Bruce, what inspires you every day to be a pilot?
What inspires me
Yes.
every day to
What
be a pilot?
inspires you?
I think just that, being able to know that I can go to work and meet a lot of people and have an influence on people's life, a positive influence on people's life,
beautiful.
taking
Yeah.
them to where they need to be at any specific time.
And to continue their story.
And to continue
I like
their
that.
story, exactly. And maybe even see them on their way back when they're returning.
Oh, with a
So,
tan maybe.
With a tan
Or
maybe.
more freckles if you're Mrs. Hot, right?
Because people need to be at all different places
Yeah.
for business, for vacation, for family reunions, and weddings. I have a wedding coming up in my own family pretty soon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you do.
things like that, all kinds of important things like that. And it's really gratifying knowing that I can play a small part in helping our passengers' days out.
Get them there. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Rickli, this has been awesome.
This
I'm going to
has
give you a
been
big
awesome.
hug.
Oh, thank you very much.
Cutie, you
Thank
ready
you.
for a hug, cutie? Here we go. Yes,
Thank you.
There. All
And
right.
from Southwest, our trademark at Southwest is our peanuts and pretzels. So
Oh,
wanna
did you
give
bring
I
us
brought
some?
you guys
Oh,
some. I brought you guys some
Sharing
peanuts and
is a
pretzels.
positive action.
Some sharing.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you very much.
Thank
and
you.
I want to make you part of the team.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
How about your Southwest friends?
Oh, that is so cool.
There
Oh,
you go. They're just like
That is so neat.
just like
I'm going to put mine on.
So thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Bruce. I've always wanted this. Oh, look. I can't wait to show my dad.
Excellent.
Yeah, I can't
That's
wait to show my
right.
dad.
That's right.
Have that look. I have my own wings for Southwest. Now I can fly.
Now you
That's
can fly.
so great.
Very
thank you
good.
so much.
Well, thank you for having
All right,
me.
we'll say bye to everybody. Have a
Bye-bye.
positive day, and we'll see you back in the Cougar Den.
That's how